EdLab is a suite of university-wide units which allows students to earn credits towards their course for running educational outreach activity. It operates a little differently to many of the other units you may have studied. It's built around a firm commitment to project-based learning, in which your participation in the production and delivery of educational outreach is at the centre of the learning experience. So it's unusual in a number of ways. It doesn't have weekly scheduled lectures and seminars, and there isn't a set of specific ideas we insist that you must be able to recall or engage with in order to pass and succeed. Both of these things can be liberating and empowering. They give you the freedom to learn in a non-determined direction, and they create multiple ways of succeeding. But as an unfamiliar way of working, this can sometimes be a bit scary, and throughout, we'll try to give you some structure to help guide your experience. Central to all EdLab units are 3 Saturday conferences. These are the only times when we can predictably bring together all of our students. So they become useful days for project workshops and support with reflection, interrogation and assessment. We also buy in some exciting and inspirational outside speakers to broaden your experiences of educational entrepreneurship. Beyond these scheduled sessions, time for work is negotiated within your project teams, directed by a project supervisor, who will also keep the project moving by establishing concrete milestones and deadlines. Your supervisor will also curate a blended learning package to sit alongside the project work in order to both guide it and help you think more about it. At this early stage, it's perhaps also helpful to talk about what makes a successful EdLab study. This can be broken into 3 key ingredients. Between December and Easter, you need to be an active participant in a project team, working to plan, develop and implement an educational outreach activity. We expect our teams to work autonomously, flexibly and professionally under supervision. Everybody's availability will be different, so there will need to be a degree of negotiation in schedules and timings, and not everyone will be able to attend everything. What matters most is that you've genuinely contributed. The second ingredient to a successful EdLab engagement relates to reflection and research, that you've learned something about educational provision and practice on the basis of your experience of doing it. So you'll need to dedicate some time to reflecting on what you're doing, what makes it interesting, and how it disrupts or enhances conventional educational practice. And you'll need to be proactive in reading scholarly articles on education in order to better contextualise your work. The final ingredient to a successful EdLab project is the production of an assessment. For those of you taking 15 credit units, this will involve communicating your project and what made it educationally interesting to an outside audience in a persuasive and accessible way. In addition, students taking a 30 credit unit will also produce a further piece of work which demonstrates an understanding of the broader educational context around the project focus. More information and plenty of support will be given around assessment throughout the unit. So that's where we're heading. Now for how we take the next steps. The main bulk of EdLab work will begin in December and run through the next term. But between now and then, we'll also give you some minor work to do so that we're all ready to hit the ground running. The first stage will be to select your project. In the next fortnight, we'll email you again with a catalogue of possible options, projects that we will curate and run over the year. You can also elect to run a project of your own, or to accredit existing work that you may be doing as an extracurricular commitment. It's a good idea, however, to have a chat about these options first. The booklet will include a link to select projects in order of choice. You will have 2 weeks to complete this. We aim to confirm project allocations in early November. We'll try to give first choices, but may have to work on a first-come, first-served basis where they're particularly popular. Soon after project allocations, your supervisors will be in touch with some initial tasks. These might include bits of reading or things that they'd like you to think carefully about. There will also be a pre-conference task to complete, something that requires you to use your own imagination and creativity in support of the project you're anticipating joining. This task will form the substance of much of the first conference and will ensure that your project work can really get started on that day. and that your ideas are able to influence the project's direction and execution. So that's all you need to know about EdLab for now, and hopefully enough to guide your expectations and anticipations of the programme in this early phase. Remember, keep an eye on your email for the project catalogue to be released in the next couple of weeks. And we look forward to seeing you all at the first conference.